Well, how are you? How are you, my dear friends, my participants, and my well wishers? I hope that all of you are well. I am also well, but before your competitive exams like WBCS preliminary, like miscellaneous services, PSC miscellaneous services, and Panchayat municipal examinations, I am going to begin from the beginning and welcome to my channel An Easy Step to English Grammar. Last night I could not appear before you, and tonight I am going to discuss with you present perfect continuous tense from examination point of view. Okay? Let us take some examples first. And you know that I always like deductive method. First, I give you some examples, then I come to the conclusion. Hello, my dear friends, my well-wishers and my patrons. Let us take some examples first. For example, I have been working out a sum for 3 hours. I have been working out a sum, SUM, for 3 hours. You see that it is that the action of the verb started in the past but still going on, and the period of time has been mentioned. And what is high? All of you are attending the live streaming class, and I am very happy. Follow, because you know that English has a clear tense system. Clear tense system. And without having the knowledge of clear tense system, I am talking about tense. And you know that tense is of the verb, always. And in the case of present perfect continuous tense, I have already discussed indefinite, continuous and perfect. And tonight I am discussing present perfect continuous tense. The action of the verb started in the past and is still going on, and the period of time is mentioned. Okay? You see, I have been working out the sum for about 3 hours. Subject plus has been or have been plus present form of the verb plus ing. And when the time is not perfectly mentioned, you will have to use for, and when the time is perfectly mentioned, you will have to use since. Okay? Another example, for example, my father has been working as an assistant teacher in English in this school since 1995. Since 1995. So my father is third person singular number, and according to the subject has been, okay, working, work plus ing, and since 1995 hi, okay, maybe I am an old man, but I served an HS school as an assistant teacher for more than 37 years. And from my classroom teaching experience, I am sharing my ideas. Okay? And I know that all of you are aware of tense system. But without having the knowledge of tense system, you cannot write English independently. You cannot write English smoothly and fluently. So you have used since because 1995 is the specific time. And when the specific time is mentioned, you are at liberty to use since. Okay? Again, I am reminding you of the fact that subject plus has been or have been plus present form of the verb plus ing plus for or since when the time is not specifically mentioned, period of time, you will have to use for, and when it is the specific of time, you will have to use since. Okay? Another example. আজ সকাল 6টা থেকেই অবিশ্রান্ত বৃষ্টি হচ্ছে। আজ সকাল 6টা থেকে অবিশ্রান্ত বৃষ্টি হচ্ছে। So you know that here you will have to supply preparatory it. It has been raining. It has been raining incessantly or torrentially today since 6 a.m. Since 6 a.m. Why are you using since? Because the time is particularly mentioned. Okay? Today it has been raining torrentially or incessantly or cats and dogs, whatever you use. Okay? Since 6 a.m. Another example I am telling you. For example, প্রায় 5 বছর ধরে আমি এই প্রজেক্টে কাজ করছি। I am trying to translate this Bengali sentence into English. Okay? প্রায় 5 বছর ধরে আমি এই প্রজেক্টে কাজ করছি। So I have been working in this project for about 5 years. For about 5 years. Here I have used for because it is the period of time and the time is not specifically mentioned. This is very simple present perfect continuous tense. Okay? And the method of construction is subject plus has been or have been plus present form of the verb plus ing plus since or for. Hello, my viewers. I have the opportunity to tell you just to subscribe my channel, An Easy Step to English Grammar. You may like. Why don't you give a like? It will cost you nothing. Like, comment and share. And you must subscribe my channel, An Easy Step to English Grammar. And in that case, I shall be enthused and encouraged to appear before you with more grammatical items. Now, let us come to the conclusion. When the action of the verb started in the past, but is going on in the present, the verb takes present perfect continuous tense. And the method of construction has already been explained. Now, I am telling you, for example, in the negative sense, you may use present perfect continuous tense. For example, this machine has not been functioning for about 2 years. This machine has not been functioning for about 2 years. Has not been. Has not been. So, this machine is subject, has plus negative plus been plus present form of the verb plus ing, and it is the period of time for about 2 years. Okay? Another example. For example, this garden has not been being looked after. No, you should not use like this. You should like, the authorities have not been looking after the garden since 1965. Since 1965. So the authorities, somebody is writing something, sir, you know about statistics. Sir, please give me a knowledge of some statistics because some issue I don't get. Basic statistics. I take a BCS and my dream is data science. No, no, my dear friend, I don't know data science or statistics, nor do I know any science subject. My son teaches in a college and he teaches AI and machine learning, data science, etc. So I was an English teacher and still an English teacher. So let us let us give some more examples. For example, nowadays the Times of India has been covering the international news. Nowadays, the Times of India has been covering the international news for about 3 years. For about 3 years has been covering. Okay? There are some local newspapers. There are some local newspapers which have not been covering international news, which have not been covering. Okay. Now let us come to another example. For example, you have not been complying with my request for 15 days. You have not been complying with my request for 15 days. That means for 15 days, it is the period of time. It is not specific time. Okay? Another example, I see you have not been studying English since the 5th of January. Since the 5th of January. So, you have used since because the time is fixed, stipulated. Since the 5th of January. Okay. Another example. As the children are absent in the selfish giant's garden, as the children are absent in the selfish giant's garden, flowers have not been blossoming for about 3 months. For about 3 months period of time, flowers have not been blossoming. Okay. I am giving you another example. Since the advent of the springtime, the trees in our garden have become full of, since the advent of the springtime, the trees in our garden have been getting new leaves in every branch. Okay? Since the advent of the springtime, specific time. Okay? Thus, I have discussed the examples of present perfect tense, perfect continuous tense, how to construct present perfect continuous tense, and what the definition is. And in your competitive exam, you will be asked, just fill in the blanks with the proper forms of the verbs. For example, the gentle bridge has been dash. The gentle bridge has been dash, blow, blowing, blowed, etc. Naturally, it will be blowing because there is has been, and it is obviously present perfect continuous tense. Okay? It will be helpful for your competitive exam. Thanking all of you. Good night. Stay safe, stay blessed, and try to subscribe an easy step to English grammar, like and comment. Somebody is making a remark. Sir, could you please take a detailed class on joining sentence? So why not? Joining of sentences, I may take a few classes, but it will be done categorically. You will have to attend or participate in the class. For example, simple sentence. It can be joined with participle, with gerund, with verbal noun, with absolute phrase, with infinitive, with preposition plus noun and preposition plus gerund, with noun in apposition or phrase in apposition. And in the case of complex sentence, you will have to come to noun clause, subject to the verb, object to the verb, complement to the verb, complement to the preposition, okay, etc. Adverbs and adverbials. And when you come to the adverb clause, you will have to come to adverb clause of time, adverb clause of manner, adverb clause of place, adverb clause of condition, adverb clause of comparison, adverb clause of contrast, adverb clause of reason, etc. There are 9 methods. So it can be done very categorically. If you do agree with me, and I will discuss. No problem. Okay? Good night. Stay safe. Stay blessed. And that's the end of my class tonight.